I've heard a couple of people mention currency manipulation. Tell me everything you know about it. And with Vietnam, with China, is it? It's alleged. I think personally, I think maybe some of it's blown out of proportion. But what do you know about it?
Well, I know it's in the papers a lot. Certainly, it's a hot topic for discussion in Congress, and I will say this is something that the administration is very focused on. Secretary Geithner has been very involved in this question, and I would probably best refer that question to him and his team because they've really done the most work on this.
But isn't that an integral part of what makes you successful or not successful? I mean, the value of the dollar right now has a lot to do with a changing export picture. So conversely, isn't it exactly the same when it's coming in the opposite direction?
The value of the dollar can certainly have bearing on the export question. But as I mentioned, Secretary Geithner and his team is focused on the currency fluctuations and discussing that issue with other countries, so I have to defer to him on this question. What I can say is that we are very focused on, no matter what is the international climate in terms of monetary policy, making sure that our companies have the tools that they need to succeed in the marketplace in terms of the free trade agreements and in terms of the other tools such as enforcement capabilities that we're very committed to pursuing.
But how can you do one without understanding or at least having a handle on a lever, if you will, on the other?
As a government, we're very involved across the board in these kinds of questions. But USTR's role is to formulate trade policy and make sure that we can negotiate trade benefits for our companies of all sizes, and then, of course, that we have the ability to follow up on the enforcement side. Our jurisdiction does not get it into currency questions, and those we defer to the Secretary of the Treasury because that is his expertise.
In terms of dairy policy, in Russia for years we've been shut out. Assuming that the Jackson-Vanik goes away and they join the WTO, you have an idea. I come from a place that's a lot of dairy farms. How you can encourage that to our products to go over there in that particular product?
If Congress is able to terminate the Jackson-Vanik Amendment, then our companies, including our dairy farmers, will be able to enjoy the benefits that we negotiated in terms of, for example, the SPS rules. And if Russia doesn't abide by the rules to which they have agreed, we would then have the option of dispute settlement. So strict adherence to the SPS issues that can benefit dairy farmers and enforcement tools, should we need them, would be very important benefits, I think, for the farmers of New York State. But it all depends on whether or not Congress will act quickly this summer to terminate this provision, which dates from 1974, before Russia becomes a member. Otherwise, our exporters will not be able to enjoy the additional benefits that we negotiated.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.